Hey everyone, welcome to the IHC Craft Room. I'm super excited to hang out with you tonight, and we're going to make something fun for the holidays. This is live number 9 of the Holiday How-To series, and tonight we're going to make like a super cute and festive clothespin wreath with this Christmas truck sign that I picked up last year, I think from Dollarama. No, this one was from Dollar Tree. Anyway, I'm super excited to make this because I have had this sign and this cute Christmas truck ribbon for way too long. Way too long. So it is time to make it happen. So I'm super, super excited. So if you're going to be crafting along with me, grab your stuff. And if you're not and you're just going to chill with me, like get comfy, grab yourself something yummy to drink, and we're going to have a good time. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is start working on our actual clothespins because I didn't think to turn on my glue gun early enough. So I got to wait for that to warm up a bit, and then we'll work on our little truck. But I'm going to move these ribbons out of the way because we'll work on a bow later. And we're going to talk about the clothespins and how many we're going to need for this. So let me take this off. Everything that I'm working with today, I purchased at the dollar store. Dollar Tree, Dollarama, you can get all the things, okay? So let's start with the clothespins. We're going to do a little bit of maker math because we need to figure out how many clothespins we're going to need. So this is a 14-inch wire wreath frame, and you can see there are 6 sections. We're going to be able to fit 14 clothespins per section, so we're going to need a total of 84 of them. Now, I'm going to be doing a gold accent in the middle of each section, so there'll be 3 gold, and they'll be flanked by 2 white. So we need 4 white and 3 gold for each section on our wreath. So in total, we're going to need 18 gold, 24 white, and then the rest are going to stay the unpainted wood, which is 7 per section. So we're going to need 42 of those. So 2 of these packs should do. Will it do? No, it won't. We'll probably need 3. Well, I have all kinds. I buy clothespins, way too many, in fact, all the time because of, I like making wreaths out of them. Okay, so we're going to paint a couple of these. But disclaimer, I've already pre-painted a whole bunch of these because it takes too long and to wait for them to dry appropriately in order for us to actually put them on our wreath base is a little too long for alive. So I do have some ready, but we are going to paint a few together first. So let's start with some white. I just bought this chalk paint, so it is brand new. Oh, it's very brand new. There's even like a little... If I'd realized this was here, I would have already opened it. I'm going to use a knife or a pair of scissors or something. This is going to be very annoying if I can't open this quickly. Oh, good. Let's open it in the worst way possible even. That's even better. Okay, we got there. Here we go. Gyros. At least I didn't get it in my nail. So, okay. All right. I am going to put on some rubber gloves for this because it makes my life significantly easier. This is the way I do my clothespins. Now, this takes a pretty penny of time. It's going to take some time to paint the clothespins the way I do. And so what I normally do is, put on a podcast and get comfy and just, start painting. But you can totally spray paint these. That's a super fast way to paint your clothespins. You could also put a bunch of paint in like a container and dilute it with water and then soak your clothespins in them. I've heard of that. You could position them all together and just give them a quick once over. That is also another great way that you can handle it, and maybe even leave them a little spotty so that you can see some of that wood coming through, like a rustic kind of look. That would look super cute. However, that is not how I roll when it comes to clothespins. I basically, if it was a person, I would murder it with paint. The drowning would be real. So here's how I paint my clothespins. I start on the side. I do not remove the metal piece. You could. It'd probably be, well, it would be cleaner in the end, I guess. But this is fast and effective, and you get really good coverage. Now, I'm using chalk paint for this because anytime I can use chalk paint for a base coat of something, I always will. Because you really only need the one coat. You would never need to come back for a second coat. So both sides are done. Now I'm going to go into the top here. Can I just say how incredibly satisfying it is to work with a fresh pot of paint? Like, oh my geez, I'm so happy right now. If I had a tail, it would totally be wagging. Okay. Then the bottom. Okay. So we've done the tippy top, the complete bottom, and the sides, but I am not going to do the front and back. I'm actually going to clip this to my tray, and we're going to keep going. So these are all little things that I learned every single time I've done one of these projects, because like I said, I really enjoy doing clothespin wreaths. So I do at least a few a year. And some of the things I learned is, for example, these come clipped to a piece of cardboard, as you can see, which you could totally clip it back to that, but I don't recommend it because it shall disintegrate because of the paint. So I do not recommend that. This is why I bought these cheap little plates. You can pick them up at the dollar store. These little purple ones are from the kids section, but I have some bigger ones that have like, I think they're lemons or something on them, that I picked up during like the summer, because you know how they always have plastic plates and cups and whatnot for like summer barbecues? Well, that's a great time to pick up a plate for clothespin painting, let me tell you. All right. Now, if you recall from our clothespin math, we need, do you see my hands? This is why the rubber gloves, just to be clear. We need 24 of these white ones, which honestly would take me probably, I would say probably an hour, if not a bit longer, with the way I do this. But we're not going to make 24 of them right now because I would not do that to you. We'll do a few. So because I make so many clothespin wreaths, I actually have like a bin, a little Tupperware bin, where I put leftover clothespins that I've painted, you know, because I'll use them for a future project. And that's because here's an IHC quick tip. We need 24 white, so I'm going to make 25, possibly 26, because it is not unusual to break a clothespin after you've already put all that time and effort into painting them and counting them, and then suddenly one is broken and it totally screws everything up, which is very dramatic. I'm sure we could find a way to hide it if we're missing one clothespin, but I don't want to do that. I'd rather just make an extra and we are prepared. All right, I'm going to stop at 4. Actually, no, I'm going to make 5 of each because it's fun. Now that I'm here. So we're going to do something super fun for the gold one because I've never done this before this wreath. I've never tried to do this on a clothespin, and I'm really excited to do it. I hope it looks as good as I think it's going to look in my head, which is how I feel every time I'm making a wreath. Wow, look at this. This one's got a chunk. It's like somebody went, That's okay. We're going to cover you with paint. Nobody's going to know. It's going to be fine. Yeah, we're going to do something I've never done on a clothespin wreath before to our gold clothespins. I'm super excited about it. And yet I'm not telling you what it is. No, I'm not going to tell you. Not until we get to the gold ones. So cliffhanger. Haha. Atiki. All right. Bueno. Okay, so that's 5. Once I do the inside here. So one of the reasons why I love this plate and the concept of this plate is because when you clip it, no matter if you get paint on the inside or not, because it's a plastic plate, it will separate without any major issue. You won't have a problem. It won't peel the paint necessarily. You'll be fine. So I love that. But the other reason why I love it is because it allows you to manipulate them all at the same time. So what I like to do is use the dish flip to access both sides. That's why I don't bother painting them and making my life hard to clip them to the board. Now we're just gonna go across the center point of each of these. You know what? I'm gonna hold this down so it doesn't squiggle so much. Right where that metal piece is, give that a good coat. And there you go. Beauty. Chalk paint gives you such good coverage. And since this is wood, all the better. I find this very satisfying. This kind of stuff is fun. Everything's fun to me. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't fun. Can you imagine making yourself do stuff on the like in your spare time that you really hate for no reason? That'd be so dumb. Okay. Focus on what you're doing. I feel like I'm about to whack that, which would be super upsetting. If I dropped it on my truck sign, I would literally, I don't know what I would literally, but it would be literal. And I'd mean it a lot. I really would. All right. We are in good shape here. So basically do that another, 3 or 4 times. And you'll get to 24. But we're going to move on to some gold now. And I'm going to actually switch gloves because if I don't, I will regret it. So here's why this gold is going to be so fun. I'm so excited about it because this gold paint, this is from Dollarama, spun gold, crafters acrylic decor. I use this all the time. I really need to buy another bottle of this and see if it's any thicker than the one I have here, but I find this very thin and it takes a few coats to get a really good bit of coverage. However, that's not the fun thing about what we're going to do tonight. We're going to add some actual glitter to it, which I'm super excited about. And we're going to do that because our sign has this glittery star and a couple of glitter stars on it. And I was like, oh, girl. And the glitter here and there, I was like, this is screaming for me to use glitter. And I mean, who am I to say no to that? You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you just need to go with the flow. So in order to do that, we're going to make 5 to level, like even out. I'm going to move these guys out of the way. We're going to need, so I'm only going to put glitter on the top part, and there's no need to put it anywhere else, but I'm going to paint the rest. So I'm going to do the same thing we just did with the white chalk paint, where I'll paint the sides and like the top and the bottom, but I'm not going to paint this or the back until the end, at which time then we're going to sprinkle our glittery glitter upon it. So I'm embarrassingly excited to use this glitter. I'm really hoping that this is going to look as good in real life as I'm imagining it will. But you know what? That's part of the fun of crafting, is you kind of put all these pieces together and in your mind and think, you know what? That would look nice and that would look nice. Let's try it. And then sometimes it turns out to look super duper nice. And other times it kind of makes you laugh at yourself like, wow, that looks really, really horrible. Actually, before we continue, no, that's okay. Let's continue. We're going to have time. Okay, so we're going to paint our gold now. We're going to do the sides again. But you see what I mean? How it's got very little coverage. Like you can't really, it's super thin. But at the same time, it is gold. It is going to be gold when it dries. It's just not very thick. But that's okay. This is just the sides. I mean, really, I don't even know that you need to do this. You could just paint it and throw the glitter on top. I bet you that would do. But I don't like being like a half butt. I prefer to be the full butt, you know, rotund and complet with 2 cheeks, not 1. So we're going to paint it all. But it's okay. It's still going to dry gold, so it'll be fine. Okay, beautiful. Now, you totally could do, I want this to be on the opposite side so I don't accidentally get glitter on the white. Why did I turn the whole plate for that? So unnecessary. Okay. Yeah, normally if I wasn't doing the glitter, I probably would do 2 coats of gold paint just to see if I could get a bit more of that coverage and not have the wood grain showing through quite so much. Because it's acrylic, but also it's a fine paint. It just really is. It's frustrating. I really do need to try to buy another one and see if it's just an unlucky batch that I happen to have. Actually, I remember when I was working on my Harry Potter pumpkin, I painted a pumpkin to look like Harry Potter. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, so I make a lot of Harry Potter stuff on this channel. I don't want to talk about the author. I just love the Harry Potter world itself, like the series. I really enjoyed the books, and I'm not going to let anything ruin that for me. But my point is, I used this gold paint on my Harry Potter pumpkin when I painted a pumpkin to look like Harry and Hedwig, which Mary from the future is going to put in the replay right here in the top right corner where I painted him. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that, like for real. But this gold paint is what I used for his Gryffindor scarf. And the amount of frustrated I was cannot be underestimated. It was such a thin paint. It really made me angry. Like had I realized it was so bad, I probably would have gone to buy a different gold paint just to avoid the frustration of working with it when it's in such a, because on a pumpkin, come on, like I don't want it to look orange with like a gold sheen. I wanted it to look like a Gryffindor like scarf, burgundy and yellow. But instead of doing straight up yellow, I decided to do gold. And let me tell you, this gold made me consider that perhaps I was incorrect to do that. But it doesn't matter because the pumpkin came out like super cute and I really enjoyed that. So in general, I like painting pumpkins. I painted a bunch this year as well. I didn't make full-length tutorials like I did for that Harry Potter one because I've been working on all these lives, so I just didn't have time. But I did make them into reels. I have a whole bunch of them on my channel if you're interested in seeing them. But just for the sake of the fact that we're talking about it now, I will link one of them. I don't know what. I did I did a series of trios, and I think it was 5 different colors this year. So I will link one of them in the corner over here, and feel free to watch because I really enjoyed, even though it's just a reel, it was fun. I enjoy painting pumpkins. I don't enjoy carving them, but I do enjoy painting them. Anywho, I always enjoy these types of crafts where I can paint without having to be careful. I like this, just like filling in or covering up and painting it, and the satisfaction of seeing it become covered in the paint that you need. It's great. It's very satisfying. Highly recommend to lower the blood pressure. I very much use the hashtag craft your calm consciously because I definitely craft my calm as much as possible. I truly embrace that philosophy. So that's why I use that on my channel, because I mean it. And I encourage you to craft your calm because life is hella stressful. And then let me add perimenopause to the mix. I dare you. So yeah, craft your calm, guys. It's good. It's bueno. All right. This is the last one. Then we're going to hit the back with a nice coat of gold before we do the same on the front and add some sparkle. Oh my God, I'm so excited about the glitter. It's kind of pathetic. And also, I don't care because it's so fun. All right. Beauty. Beautiful. Okay, so I am going to flip the plate. Now I can't really put it down the way I did before because of the white, but that's okay. So we're going to cover our little metal piece first. Not that it's going to matter with this gold, but it's fine. If you're crafting along with me in the replay, drop a comment below and let me know if you're doing the same project or if maybe you're trying something different with clothespins. I'd love to hear about it. Okay, I am going to pause this part because I want this to be done in rapid succession because I want the glitter to adhere to the wet paint as much as possible. So I need this white paper that I put over here because what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this to make it easier for me to dump the extra glitter back into the bottle. Okay. Are you ready, girl? It's your time to shine. Here we go. I'm going to paint them all, and then we're going to sprinkle them all. Let's go down the center first. Okay. I'm putting like a really nice thick coat on here. I'm like making sure to dip my paintbrush and get a lot on the brush because I really do want like a good wet coat on top so that that glitter has something to stick to. I mean, I guess I could have used Mod Podge as well. I said that en français, Moche Podge, but I don't care. The paint should work. Here we go. Oh my God, this is gonna look so cool. That's good. Beautiful. I'm going to give them a little tappity tap tap tap. Good. Is good. Let's give this a tap. I don't see any, maybe right up there, the tippy top. I'm concerned that even dry, when I unclip and clip them to the wreath, that they might lose a lot of their glitter. So we'll see how this goes. Because like I said, I've never put glitter on my clothespins before. So it's an experiment we're going to do together. So there you go. So in total, like I said, we need 24 white and we need 18 gold to do the pattern that we're planning for this clothespin wreath. I'm not going to make you watch me do all that. I pre-prepared a bunch of them. But now that we have done a few together, you get the gist. And we're going to put this glitter back into the bottle and we'll move on to our preparing our sign. Beautiful. Okay. That's great. Alrighty. Let's get our sign ready so that we're not waiting on it to dry later. I'm for sure going to be covered in glitter by the time this is over. Oh well. Won't be the first time. So I am not going to be using this string in any way. So we're just going to we're going to cut that. I'll have to decide if I want to cover the hole or not later. I might cover it with just like the bow or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out as we go. So this is going to need, oh, I forgot something else that I wanted to show you. So I had these wood stars from, I think I got them from the dollar store, from Dollarama. I painted a couple of them white and a couple of them the glitter gold. I don't know if we're going to use them, but if I'm going to add anything in addition to the bow, it's going to be a couple of these guys. So we'll see. But I painted them on all sides and even this side. You don't need to be that extra. You can just paint the front. But if I'm not extra, I'm nothing. So what am I going to say? All right. So I'm going to put some pipe cleaners on the back of this truck so that we can attach it to our wreath frame. And it's going to be right in the center of the wreath. Let's see. We're going to need at least 4. So the plan is like that. So we're going to need 1 here, yeah, but nothing here because not useful. But 3 in general is what we're going to need here. That's good. Good to know. This is always a good idea to do when you're planning out your sign and the way you're going to set up your wreath is to always kind of figure to yourself, what is the most convenient place to put my pipe cleaners? So we know we need to be right near the edge there and super close to the top over here in order to be able to catch the spot on the wreath ring we need. So let's go ahead and do that. I have to remember I'm upside down now. Okay, so right around here would be good. Yeah. Yeah. So we only need 3. Is this like dying? Why are you so thick? It's been on forever. Okay, I'm going to try to find the middle of my pipe cleaner and then lay it into the hot glue. I don't know if anybody told you, but hot glue is very aptly named because that ish is super hot. I have burned myself many, many times. Please be careful. I'm not saying that to you. I'm saying it to me, but also to you. I'm using a toothpick to push the pipe cleaner down into the glue pool. And I'm just going to give it a couple seconds to kind of like grab a bit. Now, when I'm done, after this dries completely and it's solid, I'm going to come back and hit it with a little bit more glue on top and totally encase the pipe cleaner in the glue. Why? Because I feel like it'll be more secure. I don't know that it actually is more secure, to be honest, but it makes me feel better. So, you know. Yeah, I've still got 2 bars, so I don't know why you're not. Okay. I don't remember if it should be near the middle or near the bottom, so I'm going to put it near the middle and hope for the best. Worst case scenario, if you put your pipe cleaners in the wrong spot, well, just cut them down and put them in the right spot the second time around, and no one's going to know the difference. It's fine. You're going to find, if you watch enough of the videos in my collection, and I have a lot. I probably have over 70 wreath making videos, or at least 50. There's so many. I've made a ton in the last couple of years. You'll find that I make mistakes all the time, constantly, and no big deal. Like, we'll find a way to fix the mistake or hide the mistake or make the mistake look intentional. And that's that. It's not a big deal. Life is hard enough without making your crafting so difficult. Yeah, you're really thick. What's your deal, bro? It's like you're not heating up properly. I hope my glue gun's not sick. I'd like for this to be somewhat straight. It's not going to take very long for this this glue to solidify, because I'm in my basement and it's cold down here. But I'm going to move this off to the side for now. And we're going to start talking about our bow. So I'll put this aside and we'll bring it back in a few minutes and do that second coat of glue on top. Let's just move everything out of the way. Okay. So we're going to make ourselves today a bow out of 3 ribbon. This super cute Christmas truck ribbon that I bought separate from that, but I just so happened to find this and I remembered that I had the Christmas tree sign and I was like, oh my God, bestie, this is meant to be a destinato. So anyway, what we're going to be doing is we're making ourselves a graduated bow today, a graduated loop bow. And we're going to be doing it with 3 colors of ribbon. Now, usually I would use ribbon that are like this size, which is 2.5 inches in width, but this is about 3 yards in length, which is a standard roll of ribbon that you're going to find at like Dollarama, Dollar Tree. But I often use these massive rolls from, this one's from Costco and this one's from Michael's. Because if I can get a good deal, girl, I will take any ribbon I can get. And these are stunning. They're nice and thick. They're wired. And this is rule number 1. You absolutely need a wire-edged ribbon. It doesn't matter what color your ribbon is. It doesn't matter where you bought it from. It could be worth $1 or $20. I don't care. It needs to have wire edges or you won't be able to make this bow quite as easily as we're going to be making it tonight. So this bow is called the graduated loop bow, and surprise, surprise, we have another breakdown. So this is the graduated loop bow, and you do not have to cut any ribbon to make this. We're not cutting multiple pieces of ribbon. It's gonna start, and we're gonna get all the way to the end of the bow before we have to cut that ribbon, which is super fun. I like that aspect of this bow. So we're gonna be using 3 different colored wired ribbons that are complementary. And for each color, we're going to need 1 full roll of ribbon. In this case, it's the 3 yard is what I'm referring to. So 108 inches. This is definitely not going to be a whole roll of this ribbon, but you get my point. And we're going to cut 1 piece of each ribbon to 12 inches in length so that we have enough for a tail. And that's what we're going to need for our graduated loop bow. So let's get started on it. And let's get this cut open. I always tell myself to remember to cut these beforehand, and I never do it. Oh, well. what we're going to do is talk a little bit about good side, bad side, because it is muy importante when you're making a bow to keep track of the side of your ribbon. I'll move you out of the way. So what I mean by that is this ribbon has a vibrant side, this one here, where you can see all the vibrant colors, and a not so vibrant side. This is the bad side. We want the good side to always be facing down, because if it's facing down, that means it's facing on the outside of your bow. So remember, good side, down. And both of these also have a good side. There's the matte satin and then there's the velvet. So I definitely want the velvet to be on the outside. The other thing to consider with this type of bow is whichever ribbon you have on the bottom is going to be the ribbon that is facing out the most. So you want the one that you want to be like your main star bow, ribbon, to be the one that's on the bottom. So in that case, for us today, it's going to be this one because that is the theme of our wreath today. So I'm going to actually use, to help me today, a stone, an art stone that I made for Wicked, which now has a new one out in theaters. How exciting. I'm excited to watch it. Is it in the theaters? Do things go into theaters anymore? I don't even know. Like, the world has changed. Okay, let's focus. But we're going to use one of these to hold down the ribbon and help us out in maneuvering the bow. So the first thing we're going to do is try to move you out of the way. We're going to stack our ribbon good side down, one on top of the other, just like that. The hardest part of this bow, in my opinion, is keeping track of your ribbon rolls so that they don't take off on you. So good side down. We're going to line up the ends here. You're already twisted, Green. Don't get on my nerves, Green. Okay. Beautiful. So we have our ribbons nicely, no, bro. Nicely lined up and ready to go. Good side down. So here's what we're going to do. We start with the first loop, and we're just going to pull this over. No, you guys aren't lined up well. Okay. Pull this over so that we make one loop. Okay. Then we're going to bring all of these to the other side. And we will make a second loop now on the right side, keeping them all together. Now we have our second loop. Yeah, for sure, keeping track of these ribbons is going to be the challenge, but that's okay. We're up for it. We are up for the ribbon challenge, folks. I have glue on my fingers already. So now we have two loops. You see? One for the right and one for the left. We are going to keep track of where the centerpiece is so that we always have pressure there because we don't want to lose that. Now, in order to keep the good side facing out, which again, you know is very important so that the design is visible and the bad side is not, we're going to need to do a scrunch and twist. So making sure that we keep our ribbon together, I'm now going to scrunch them together and twist one time. So now that good side is facing down again. You see? But as you can see, you really got to keep an eye on your ribbon because it's also moving. And you'll end up with a knot if you're not careful. So this is where I'm going to start using my friend from Wicked, Elphaba, just to hold down my ribbon. You could use your scissors as well if you like, but hello, this is beautiful. Why wouldn't I use it? Okay, so we're going to make sure these are lined up flat with each other. Hold on, that would be better on the bottom. Okay, beautiful. And now the next loop of our bow, we're going to make in the exact same way by just crossing over to the other side. But in order to make sure that it's a little bit bigger than the loop in front of it, I'm going to put my finger right beside the bow loop from before, which is right here. And that's going to give me 1 finger width. And we're just going to bring all these guys over my finger. Okay. Now, keep in mind, because there is a top and bottom to this pretty ribbon, sometimes the car is going to be upside down and sometimes it's going to be right side up. C'est la vie. I'm not concerned about it. I just want the good side facing out. So now we've got that 1 finger width, and I'm going to grab my ribbon, make sure they're level with each other. We're going to go right to the center where the stone is. I'll move that out of the way, and we're going to scrunch and give it 1 twist. So now again, our good side is facing the table. You're going to stress me out, all this ribbon. That's okay. It's fine. We got this. We got this. Okay. So I'm going to flatten out my ribbon on the bottom, making sure my good side is down. Okay, same with the red. Good side down. Green, good side down. All right, we're cooking over here. Put that back. Thank you. Merci. So we're going to put a finger on this side as well now to make our second loop. Right beside the first loop. And back we go to the other side. Flipperoo. Good. Very nice. Red, you're next. Good. Okay, beautiful. And now this guy. And we're going to pull that taut against my finger so that we get that side. Slide you out. Okay. So we now have 2 loops that are graduated in size. I'm going to hold this up and show you. Okay. Now I'm going to do 1 more so that I get 1 more loop on this side and 1 more loop on that side. So we'll have 3 on either side because I'm going to tie a pipe cleaner down the center. So that's what I'm hopeful that I have enough of the ribbon. I should. That's why 3 yards, that standard size of ribbon roll from the dollar store is the right size. It's the size we want. So, okay, we're at the center again. What are we going to do? We're going to scrunch and twist. That's right. So I'm going to scrunch and we're going to twist. And now the good side's on the bottom. Okay, let's straighten out our ribbon. On the bottom, we've got our trucks. Well, you're getting really fired up, eh? Chill out, bro. We're on the same team. And then the red. And then the green. Beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to put this down so that I can readjust a little bit. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing 1 last time. You know what? You can come off the roll now. Santa Maria, you guys are stressing me out. Okay, here we go. We're going to do 1 more finger length, or width rather, right beside that last loop. And we'll bring these guys over. Okay, good. Red, you're next. Beautiful. Senor truck. All right, we've got all three of them. It's taut up against my finger. Slide my hand out and get the stone in place so that I can make sure everything is level. And then we're going to give you one last twist right here in the center. We're going to scrunch and twist. Scrunch, twist. Help me out, Alphaba. Oh, I don't know if I said this yet, but I made this rock and this one, and I have also a pink heart with the bubble crown on it. I made these in a video, so I'm gonna Mary from the future in the replay is gonna go ahead and put that in the corner up here in case you're interested in watching that video, because these were super fun to make. I really enjoyed them. Okay. So same thing. This is the last time we're going to flip though. So I'm going to go ahead and put my finger here. And we're going to do one last crossover. No scrunch required for this one. It's just a straight flip over. You guys should be on top of each other. Good. And you. Beautiful. We're going to pull that taut against my finger. Okay. I'm going to slide this rock out. Okay, there we go. We are ready to make the final. We're going to now put a, where did I put that other pipe cleaner? It's always fun to have to scrounge for something when you only have one hand available. Don't you think? It's fun. I think it's a good time. Don't worry. I'm going to show up with one. Here we go. I'm going to fold my pipe cleaner in half, and we are going to slide that right into the center. Now, I'm going to flip this over so that I can see if I really am in the center, because it matters to me. I would say we're about center right here. Is that the center? I think so. Okay, so now I'm going to tighten this on the back, and we're going to give this a couple of good twists. I'll tighten it again after, but I just really want to cut this off because it's irking me. So now that we've got that tightened together, I'm going to cut this short because we don't need this for the tail. We're going to add to the tail ourselves after. Like I said, we were going to cut an extra piece for that purpose. So let's go ahead and cut through these guys. Beautiful. I'm going to use this for the tail. Let's go ahead and cut that on each of these. I'd like about a 12-inch tail because it's going to fold in half. So really you're going to see about this much on each side when you make the tail. So we're going to go ahead and do that. One of each color is all we need. Okay, green. Also, I'm going to dovetail the ends, which will make it a tiny bit smaller in length, like because you'll lose some of it in the V. But it's okay. And, oh, we're going to cut that off because I don't like that. Beautiful. Help me out. This is the curliest ribbon. The quality of ribbon between this and this is night and day. This is floopy and flimsy, and these are nice and thick. So not always the case at the dollar store, but sometimes you really do get what you pay for, you know? All right, we're going to pause on this actually because I want to continue putting glue on the back of my sign now that the glue has dried, because we are headed into the home stretch and we need this to be dry by the time it's time to attach it. So I'm going to go ahead and add a dollop of glue over top of each of these just to really encase it in glue. Beautiful. All right, glue gun, we're done with you. Toodaloo. Don't need you anymore. Oh, actually, I don't know if I need this, so I'm going to keep it on, although my battery is dead. So, lucky for me, I have a spare battery. And I'm good at rhyming, in case you missed that. And I need a glue stick, which I have. Beautiful. All right, well, we're ready for when we need that. But I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way so we can go back to our bow. But we might need that glue gun to put some stars on. I'm not sure yet. Wait till you see it. All my glitter clothespins are so cute. I'm so excited to use it. Okay, so we're going to dovetail these ribbon. In order to dovetail the end of a ribbon, what you're going to do is fold it over end to end. So you have a nice fold in the center. And then you're going to cut on a diagonal from corner into the center. And however deep you make your V is how deep that dovetail is going to be. Now, I like to make them very deep. I really enjoy that sharp V. You could absolutely do this, all three of them at the same time. I've done that in the past, and I never get a really sharp V. I'm not good at it. So I'd rather take the extra time to cut them one by one and get the shape I want versus being faster but not getting what I want out of it, you know? Patience is key, my friend. Yeah, I'm really excited to see the new Wicked movie. I love Ariana Grande. And my girl Elphaba is killing it these days as well. So all in all, it's just a stunning. It's exciting. They're talking about even making a third one, which would be really cool. Okay. Beautiful. We have our tail ready. But first I want to make sure that we are lined up properly and whatnot for the bow here. So it's not quite in the center, as you can see. So I'm going to scoot. I'm going ahead and scoot you because we really want the pipe cleaner to be dead center. Oh, shoes. I did not expect that to open up like that. It's a good thing I had my hand on it. Or I would have lost my bows. I would have lost me some petals of my bow, and that would have been really upsetting. I'd say that's about the middle now. Let's give you a tighten them up. That's a perfect example as to why I have such a pipe cleaner twist issue, that I twist them so much because I'm always paranoid. Okay, that's the middle. Oui. So now I am really going to give this a major twist because I know I'm not going to change that. What we're going to do now is fluff this out. And basically, the way you fluff out a bow ribbon is pretty easy. You're going to slide your fingers into the loop and then do a motion like this to get that poofed out look. But first, we're going to separate because we've got 3 ribbon here, and I want this white ribbon to stay in the center. So I'm going to alternate between the red and the green in terms of which I pull down and which I pull up to fluff out. Okay. So now I'm going to roll my fingers, like I said, and separate. And we've got one loop ready to go. Ready to party, waiting for his buds to show up at the ball. At the Christmas party. I mean, this is a Christmas tree truck after all. So on this side, we're going to go green on top, red on the bottom. I think I'll just spread them first, and then we'll try to poof them out a little bit. Very nice. I wish the trim on this ribbon had been gold. Then it would have been a perfect match for the sign that we have, because the gold star and everything. But, you know, what are you going to do? Not everything can be perfect. So as you can see, this truck on this side is upside down. So, you know, that's the thing. When you have a ribbon that has an obvious top and bottom, this style is going to happen. It's going to happen this way. So keep that in mind. If it bothers you, don't use a ribbon that has that type of noticeable up, like north versus south. Beautiful. And last, we're going to get the green on top here. Okay. Beautiful. That's great. Look at the volume. It's a lot of volume. Okay, so we got to go red on top over here. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Red and pull the green down. Very good. So the key to a really puffy bow, in my opinion, is, first of all, I'm still a tiny bit intimidated by bows, even though I've made oh so many at this point, because sometimes I still mess them up, you know, and then I have to start over and I feel like, wah, wah. But that's okay. I have learned a number of simple bows that I am happy to share on my channel to all beginners so that they can learn some simple bows that would be less intimidating, as I did. And the key, in my opinion, to a good, beautiful bow is it's the messing around with it. It's the after. When you have it ready and you have it on your project, at the very end, you're going to fluff and fluff and fluff and fluff. And fluff and fluff some more. Ooh, this one came out. Oh no, that's unfortunate. We're going to tuck you right back in. I over fluffed the center one and I lost my tuck. That's never happened to me before. That's okay, we fix. I needed to go under the pipe cleaner so that it's inside. Okay, beautiful. There we go. The top of our bow. And we're going to poof it out and poof it out and poof it out some more when we're ready to add it to the actual wreath. But for now, what we're going to do is add our tail. So again, I'm going to leave the white on top. This time I want to make sure my cars are facing up and down the way we want. We'll do red. And we're going to do green. Okay, and then in the center, we're going to do a quick scrunch like that. And we'll, oh, I didn't grab the bottom ribbon. All three ribbon, scrunch in the center like that. And then we're just going to bend and add it to the back of our bow using that same pipe cleaner. Just like that. Ooh. Beautiful. And now the little tails are going to come down like this. And there we go. We just made ourselves a graduated loop bow, just like that. Simple, right? It's an easy bow to make. A little frustrating with the crossing over of the ribbon, but if you can keep yourself focused on keeping them straightened out, then this is a very easy, no-cut method to make a lovely, beautiful, full bow. Beautiful. All right. We are ready to start building out the wreath now. We have our bow ready. We have our sign drying. It's almost fully dry. So it's time to start putting the clothespins on the base of the wreath. So let's get started with that. I'll move you out of the way for now. Senor, you'll be back later. So I prepared all of these. Look how cool these glitter ones came out. I'm so excited. I've never done that before. Put a glitter clothespin on a clothespin wreath. So we're going to see how that goes. Where are my non-painted? Here we are. Okay. So in total, there are 14 that can fit in one of these sections from bar to bar. Of those 14, in the center, we're going to have 3 gold, flanked by 2 white on each side, and then the rest will be wood. So the wood part, there are 7, which is an odd number. So I'm actually probably going to start in the center with the gold as opposed to starting on the edge, which I've never done before, but there's a first time for everything. So we'll see if that's smart or not. Okay. I am looping this onto this 3rd ring. So 2nd from the inside or 3rd from the outside. That's where my first one's going to go. But my second one is going to go down to that inner ring. No, I did this the wrong way. I have to have it on the upper ring. My apologies. Like, what am I doing? It's going on this row here. Okay. So that's 2. And then we're going to bring this one back down to row number 2 so that that glitter's coming off in pieces. So this is probably not going to work out the way I'd hoped. Too bad, but we're going to do it anyway because why not? So white and white, and then white over here and white. So we're always doing 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down. Yeah. Okay, so now 3 on one side and 2, 3. We're going to probably do 4 on one side. We're going to see. We'll see how many we fit. Plain wood. We're always going 3rd row, 2nd row, 3rd row, 2nd row. Beautiful. This one's going to break. Are you going to break? No? All right. There we go. Section 1 complete. So like I said, the glitter's coming off exactly where I thought it might when I'm touching my thumb to it. So I will most likely go back afterwards and touch these up a little bit. Super simple, a little dab of paint and then a little bit of that glitter and just let it dry and you're good. I'm totally going to do that for sure because I don't like that it's missing, but I love the way this looks. It's so cute. Okay, so now that we know we're going to do 4 here and 3 here, I don't need to worry about starting in the center. I can just continue my pattern. These ones almost look dirty. This side's better. All right, so we're going to start with this one's a little bit chipped, so I'm going to put it aside in case I absolutely need it. I'll use it, but I probably won't. All right, so second row, third row, second row, third row, and that was 4. So now we got 2 white, second row, third row, and then we're going to do 3 gold. Second row, third row, second row. These are a little bit far. Push you in. Then we're going to do white, white, 2, and 1 more. Oh, this one's giving up the ghost on me, eh? I think this one really is broken. Are you broken? Put me in, coach. Okay, fine. I'll give you a chance. 2. But you're still crooked. You better smarten up when this guy comes to play, or else you're out. All right. All right, we've got 2 done. What do you think? This is looking good. Oh, I went to the wrong one. So second row, third row. Oh, I don't like this side. Turn over. That's better. 2. This one's in bad. Oh, I just broke it. Okay. That's actually a perfect example of what I meant by why I always paint a couple of extra of anything that I paint. I have extra golds. I have 2 extra gold and at least 2 extra white for that exact reason, because it's very easy to break these, which would be a real bummer if you only had the exact amount you needed of these painted ones. Oh no, yellow first, white first. Second row, third row. Beautiful. Now 3 gold, 1, 2. You know what I think I would do different is I would put a top coat over this glitter. Like I'd probably spray some kind of top coat. I think that's the mistake I made here. But again, I've never done glitter on a clothespin wreath before. So note to myself for future reference. Future Mary, listen up. Spray it. Thank you very much. Moving on. We are going to just keep it going. Third row, second row, and then 3. 1. Oh no, you're ugly. 1. This one I think is a little, I might need to shift them a bit. I might not have room for all 3. 1, 2. Oh, there's plenty of room. Oh, this one's all broken. I don't like you. Go away. I don't like you either. This set's not that great. They're all kind of skeezy. We'll have to open up another pack. This is why I always have multiple packs when I'm doing this, because you really don't know what the wood's going to look like on all of your clothespins. And some of them are going to look really rough, and you're not going to want to have that on a wreath. All right, we're half done. What do you think? Cool, right? Okay, we need 4 more. Let's cut this bad boy open. Well, these ones are dark too. Oh boy, lots of them are dark. What about you? Do you have any that are not so dark? Well, there are plenty that have a side that's not so dark, so we can work with it. I don't mind a few of them being dark because it's nice to have like that depth of color. but not all of them. You want to have that nice wood too. So, okay, so we're going to start with 4 plain unpainted. Row 2, row 3, back to row 2. See, I don't mind a darker one there, but we'll put a lighter one beside it. Row 3, and that's 4. So now we're going to go to white on row 2. Okay. Row 3, 2 white. Now 3 gold. Row 2. Oh. Row 3. Row 2. All right. 2 more white. Row 3. Row 2. And now 3 unpainted. 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful. We are on the move over here. Okay. Four unpainted, 2 white, 3 gold. You guys need to get out of the way. Scram. It's not your turn yet. 1, 2. Do you see how easily I'm unclipping them from this plate though? It's beautiful. It's such a great tip to use them because they just don't get stuck. It works out really well. Okay, 2 more white. And 3 unpainted. Oh, look at that one. That's interesting. Do I want that side? Yeah, but mixed in the middle. This one's good. 1. Oh yeah, this one was chipped. Okay, let's do this really multicolored one. I think that's cool. And then we'll put like a really plain one right beside it. Beauty. Okay, last section. We're almost done. We are hopping through this. So we need 4 over here. 1, 2. This one's good. That's a little dirty on that side. This side's good. Okay, 2 white. This white one looks like it's going to give up the ghost. How you doing? You all right, Val? Okay, 2. We need 3 of these. I don't know why I went for that one. 2, 3. 1. Last white. Now we need 3 more of these. Let's do some nice ones. That one's nice. That one's nice. And how about you? All right, this is the last one we're going to put in right now. Beautiful. What do you think? That looks great. I'm very pleased with that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let's get all of these extra clothespins out of here because we don't need them. I'll put them away later. All right. We are cooking. We are currently now in the finishing touches land. So it's time to put everything together. So let's put these guys out of the way. And it is time for us to bring Mr. Truck into the picture. Here he is. Oh my gosh, doesn't that look great? Okay. So now the question is, where do the gold pins go? And we want them in the center, but they're not going to be perfectly center of each other. So where in terms of the truck do we want them positioned? I would say I definitely want the center, the bottom center, like that. This one's crooked. Okay. So I want the bottom right in the middle. And then the truck. What do you think? Or is it more like that? That puts the gold here and then 2 on the side. Do we like that? Or do we want to have it so that you can see gold here, here, and here? Then that's kind of competing a little bit. Or do I like it? In a way, I like it because it lines up with the tires, which is cute. But I feel like the star gets lost because of that gold. So that bothers me enough that I won't do that. We want the star to be like that, I think, is what we're going to do. So that this gold is right in the middle. What do you think? Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So now what I'm going to do is fold these pipe cleaners down, straight down. Okay. And we are going to thread these in between the clothespins and attach them to the wreath base. That is going to be hard for you to see because I'm going to have to maneuver myself. The important thing is I need to make sure that I stay in the position that I want this to be. So I really want these gold ones to be like the dead center. And then the truck is like that, I think. No, that's not the center. Like that. Okay, so let's see how we can make that happen. I'm going to slide this pipe cleaner between the clothespins and in between the wreath rings as well. If I can get it under. And we'll pull it through. Good. That's one. Are we still happy with the position of the truck? Yes. Okay, good. Now this side, I'm going to give this a very loose twist underneath here because I'm probably going to shift this around a little bit. But for now, I feel like that's a good spot. So now this side, I'm also going to tuck in between. And this side as well. Now in retrospect, I realize I shouldn't have put my glue up and down. It would have been better if I had done it this way so that my pipe cleaner would be able to go around the base a little bit more easily. So I'm going to make note of that for myself for the future so it's easier for me. This is a little bit more frustrating because of it. Still doable, but it would have been easier for me if I had put it in a horizontal position as opposed to vertical. Okay, what do you think? Are we in the right spot before I tighten that? I'd say that's good. I want the gold to be somewhat in the middle. So I'm going to give this a light twist as well. Okay, and then we're going to... We are going to tuck under, and this one through the pipe cleaners and the actual ribbon, the ring. And I'll give that a light twist as well. The pipe cleaner actually got stuck to the glitter. Okay, what do we think? Yeah, I'm happy with that position. I might want to scoot it this way a little bit. Can I scoot you this way? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now we're talking. I consider this the perfect spot. Now, before I say that, where are we putting our bow? Because I don't want to lose the star. So let's see. Here's our bow. Do we put it around the bottom? Which means we're literally covering up the 3 gold ones that I was trying to keep centered, which is still fine. Do we put it across the top where we might lose the star? How about over here? We're still going to lose the star there. What about here? You know what? It's the star on the top of the tree that's making that an unfortunate spot, because this would have been the right spot for it, in my opinion. But that star gets lost if we don't have the star showing. It's upsetting. So option 1 is along the back over here. So it's like on the edge of the tree. That's option 1. Option 2 is right along the bottom, tucking. We can actually make it hang off the bottom of the wreath a little bit, as opposed to it covering the tires. I think that's what I'll do. I think we'll have it hang off the bottom so that you can't see the tire. Either that, or we got to have it hang off the top so that you can still see. No, I think the bottom. Let's do it off the bottom. Yeah. Okay, we're going to pull these pipe cleaners down and thread them through the the clothespins and the wreath ring. Okay. I'm going to tie that as tight as I can. Oh, I just made a clothespin jump out. I tied it too tight. Well, I told you it was going to be tight. No one told you to jump out. Okay. I'm going to flip everything over now and tighten it. And then we are going to spread out and fluff everything and decide if we're going to position some of these stars on here. So let's make sure everything is... I'm totally going to smush my bow now, but it's okay. We fix. We fix. So this is one of those projects that I really enjoy because it's something that you can use. And then if you want to like make a different wreath, or you want a different style wreath, or you're over this wreath and you want something different, you can easily take this apart, reuse the clothespins for a different project, and reuse everything, really. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these down. Now that we've given them a good twist, you could use a little more. Okay, beautiful. So now we have a very clean back, which is great. We will tie a piece of jute cord to this after so that I can hang it, because I'm definitely going to hang this on my front door as soon as I'm done. All right, we're going to fluff now. We're going to fluff and we're going to pull this bow down. I really do want to see the tires. So let's adjust this so that I'm in the right spot and I'm not fighting it. Okay. So now I'm going to try again to keep my truck ribbon in the center while I'm fluffing. And again, we're doing that rolling motion with your fingers to really fluff out the bow loops. So this is like a really linear kind of bow that you can make when you want to have something that's not like just a big poof of a bow. I've made a few of those recently, which are called bundle bows. That's what I call them on this channel, at least. I don't know what other people call them. But this graduated bow really gives you that opportunity to have like a more linear look as opposed to just that poof. All right, fix our little tails here. Spread them out real nice. Give them a little curl down with your finger across, like a kind of motion. In case you missed that sound effect, it was I don't know. I don't know why, but that's why. Okay. And we'll do the same with this guy. Try to put the red, since we have the green on the inside, so we get a nice spread. And then we're going to do a little, what's the sound again? That's right. That's correct. Beautiful. Okay, we're almost done. Are we going to add some stars, do you think? Like here. I've got 3 gold ones and 3 white ones. I feel like on the outside they look cute. Maybe not so many. I want to be careful with that because it's a different gold, right? So I don't want to make them compete too much. But over here it would be fine, tucked in the corner. So we'd have a gold one there. What if we put a white one here? And another gold one there. And you won't really see any over here, but I might tuck a white one over. Just to have what would be over here, I think. Yeah, I think that's cute. Little pops. Maybe we'll tuck one under here too. Let's do that. Then I'm going to bend this down more because I want to be able to see, again, the tires for the most part. Okay, let's give these a little bit of glue. Are you alive? Yay. Oh, no, I turned it off. Oh, that's upsetting. Okay. How long do the little ones take? All right, so we're going to pivot because I accidentally turned off my glue gun earlier when I changed the battery. So it's dead, or meaning the glue is not melted. So we're going to super glue these on because Mary is very highly adaptable, and that's how we roll. When you make a mistake, you pivot. Not a big deal. Just be careful because it is super glue. So with that in mind, rather than put it on here and potentially get it on myself, I'm going to actually put it directly where I want the star. That way, I don't have to be worried. This one over here. So it's coming out of the exhaust. So this is Gorilla Super Glue. To be clear, highly overkill. Hot glue would have been great. Beautiful. Okay, so where did we want these? Because now they fell off. You were going to be over here, and you were going to be up there, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, and the white one there. So let's do, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. We're going to do right here. Beautiful. We'll just give that a couple seconds to adhere a little bit. So in terms of what I would do different next time for a project like this is if I were to do glitter on my clothespins again, I would definitely make sure to spray them with a top coat afterwards. I mean, you could probably brush it on, but I think you'd brush off most of your glitter if you did that. So I would spray it with like a sealer top coat to try to keep as much glitter on the actual clothespin and star as possible. A little sip of water. Never forget to hydrate, friends. Okay. Are these guys too close to each other? Should I have put that there? Oh, well, too late. No, I don't mind. I think it looks cute there. Okay, we're going to do one white one down here. And I might do a gold one under here too, because why not? Why not? You know, from different angles, you see different things. So I was at the end of this glue to begin with. I had it stored upside down like this. So this is for show done now. No more Gorilla Glue for you. Very nice. I will say, though, the Gorilla Glue does not take a lot of contact. A couple seconds and boom, you're good. Let's do one right here. Boop, boop. All right, guys. We've got one last step and we're done. Well, technically two, because if I don't fluff the bowl one last time at the end, I don't consider it done. But the next step is we're going to put some jute cord on the back so that when we're done, I can bring this upstairs and hang it on my front door. So I'm going to take, I don't know, maybe that much. And I'm going to do, I don't know what kind of knot this is. I think it's called a slip knot when you fold the two ends together and then I wrap it around my finger and tuck the ends through that little loop I just made. I made this really short, actually. This might not be long enough. We'll see. Yeah, this is the smallest loop in the entire world. Like, what am I doing? I need a longer piece. That's not going to be helpful. Okay. Let's make it that long. Pardonnez-moi. There is a rough piece here. Get out of here. Okay. So, ends to end. That's a much more reasonable sized loop. So, end to end, wrap it around your finger, and then tuck the ends into that loop that you made on your finger. Pull it out, and you got yourself a nice knot on the bottom. And if you want to make it nice and tight, just open both ends, and you are golden. All right. Now, I'm going to put this, we want it to be right in the center. So right about here. I'm going to loop this under, I don't know if you can see that, under and through. And then we're going to pull this upwards. There you go. We've got ourselves a jute cord ready to be hung. One last little fluff of the of the bow. Because if you don't fluff your bow one last time, did you really make a wreath? I don't think so. So let's give you one more. And I'm telling you that when I hang this on my door, I will fluff the bow again. It's just necessary, okay? I don't know if there's a bow police, but I'm not going to risk it. The bow fluffing is, it's really the key though. The key is to fluff the bow. Okay. Beauty. Let's bring this just a little bit lower. Got tails out. Get our tails nice and spread. All right. There you go. We just made ourselves a beautiful holiday themed wreath. What do you think? I really enjoyed making this. Like I said, I've had this sign and this ribbon for a long time, and I just didn't know what project I wanted to use it for. And I love the way this turned out. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. I hope you love your wreath if you made one and that it turned out great. I'd love to see it, so let me know. I had a great time making this together. Remember, I go live 3 times a week now. On Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to make some candles. So join me on Saturday. We're going to make some beautiful candles. On Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we dot paint together. Join me for that. We'll make some cool holiday themed projects. It's going to be a blast. And next Thursday, come back for another wreath making video at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're all super easy tutorials, very beginner friendly. I go through everything step by step. You see all my mistakes. We correct them together. That's the way we roll around here at the IHC Craft Room. If you're interested in learning more about wreath making, check out one of the videos that's going to pop up on your screen in the replay. And don't forget to subscribe so that we can continue to get crafty together. Toodaloo!